Hello and welcome to my new series I'm calling Cards and Coffee. We are looking at parts of self in this series. I'm not sure how long it's going to go. I'm not sure what to expect from it, but it's moving me in a direction that I ultimately want to go. And so we're going to use the interactive cards. I will put in the description box right below any information on all of the cards that I'm using and any information that comes up during the reading. So I'm going to pull one card from the interactive deck and see kind of what part wants to be seen and heard. If you want to, for your own personal growth and exploration, if you want to take some time to get a journal or a piece of paper to write down how you are resonating, what you are hearing and seeing from this part, if it speaks to you. If it doesn't, you can listen in or you can just wait for the next day. I'm going to post one 5 days a week, I believe. That is my plan anyway. So let's see. Who wants to be seen and heard? Ooh, okay. Now, these cards aren't like specified, so it's our own psyche that is projecting onto the cards and determining who this is, right? So if you were okay, we got this guy again, which we already had. So I'm going to put this one back. But if we were using this in a session, we would be talking about what you were getting from it, but we're not. I'm doing a reading as if this part was talking. Okay, so I'm going to show you what came out. Very interesting. Okay, so you can hit pause on this image if you want. Take some time to really connect to it as far as you are concerned in your own psyche. And I will use Tarot to try to give this part a voice. I don't particularly feel that I'm connecting to it much. Yeah, I guess I can. Well, let's see. So this part, what I'm going to do is going to go up the chakra centers to connect to it, and then we'll move into some other questions, okay? So looking at the base chakra, this part says I have what? What is going on here? I have issues around safety, security, possibly physical. Okay, so I have conflict right now. Could be some sort of conflict coming in for this part that feels a little bit too fast, a little bit too potentially maybe just a little too foreign and too fast for it to necessarily process or understand. It may be making this part feel like it's a little bit like out of its element. It's just like a lot of communication. Just it's a lot, and it could be causing some conflict within itself or with with others around it, I guess. I have. Okay, so now what does this part want? Okay, so this is looking at the Sacral Chakra, where we are creative, where we form relationships, our sexuality. Okay, so I want to feel free. Okay. I feel like this part wants to feel free to explore maybe its own values, its own what kind of feels right to it, and it may be coming up against others who don't want it, who want it to stay kind of small and stuck and almost frozen. You've got these little frozen beings. You know, again, now I realize that I'm doing this reading and that there's no real other voice, okay? But this is kind of where you can do your own listening to this part for yourself if you want. Okay, but we're looking at the Fool, which is potential, it's spontaneous, it's the energy that moves us to take a leap into that creative realm. And then we've got the Hierophant. So this is all about morals, ethics, belief systems, commitments. Okay. It's a Taurus energy. This could be the conflict, though. This one part, wants to, at the same time that it wants to move forward and explore, it could be feeling a little bit held back and restricted because it would be moving against anything like it has known or traditions, that kind of thing. Okay. So I can or I will. Woo. All right, let's see. Speak. Oh, yeah. Okay. Can or I will. I almost feel like it's very determined to speak its truth. It wants to speak its truth in order to create the life and the legacy that it wants to. However, it may be feeling kind of anxious. Will I be accepted? How will this be received? I mean, I have my truth and my rights to break free from anything that's, holding me back. I really kind of want to venture out. But I might be a little bit, afraid, a little conflicted here. And I say that because 9 of Wands is at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So we move into the heart chakra. I love. These beings look kind of alien, they're in cold, icy. I mean, the card is all gray. It's black and white. I mean, it could be that, whatever this part wants to move into, it's going to have to venture out from the, the black and white thinking, the black and white rigid world, potentially. Okay, I love connecting. I love okay, let's see. My heart really wants to celebrate this. My heart wants to celebrate. My heart wants to feel, you know, that I have a right because I've worked hard to get to this point that I want to take a leap and explore and go bigger in some kind of work. And yet there could be some sense of needing to defend myself. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this thing no matter what. I mean, I can see that, right? I'm moving into that space where I don't want to do the defensive thing. But I do defend my right to move into, what I just heard was, I do defend my right to move into Technicolor. I do defend my right to have a broader view of my life. I defend my right to have a different experience of life. It's interesting to see the juxtaposition between this gray, black and white color and then all of this, right? Okay. And it's really looks like it's something that this part, and if you're sitting in on this reading for, you know, maybe to get some answers for where you are right now. I mean, it looks like right here, right now, anyone who might be connecting this to this card may be wanting to build something, create something, you know, do the work necessary to manifest a business or a dream or a legacy that is important to you. It's very purposeful for you. It means a lot to you. It's more spiritually fulfilling, right? So I speak. What do I speak? What does this part speak? I speak of I speak in a very hopeful, healing, believing. I speak to maybe even help others. I speak and I listen to my heart and my purpose and the reason for my being. I speak from experience. I speak from a place of having been through something that maybe has kept me limited or constrained or unable to move forward. And now I want, you know, I'm speaking my truth in order to heal myself, in order to maybe help and offer hope to others, and as my part of, you know, the totality of healing the consciousness, the collective unconscious. I speak in hopeful terms. I'm hopeful, and I don't want anyone like holding me back. I've waited long enough for this. Okay, I see. What do I see? What do I see? see this as part of I know that this is part of my path and my purpose, right? Okay, so I see, whoa, look at that. Absolutely. I see this as part of my path and my purpose. I see this as in terms of being whole, of having integrated, the pieces of me that needed healing, the pieces of me that want to experience myself joyfully, blissfully, confidently. This is me as a divine creator coming into a conscious awareness of my right and my what's the word? Almost like even destiny to be on this path, doing this healing, and using it to move forward into my purpose. I had to maybe walk away from something that was okay, but I had to walk toward this. I chose to walk this journey. I chose to do this work. And I can see that. I can see that now. I see how every step along the way had meaning and purpose. And I may not have seen that before. Once upon a time, my thought processes and my experience of life in the world was very different. And I know, lovers, okay, and I know that I choose, that I have made choices, that I choose a greater life, that I choose to accept this mission, this I'm strong. Even though, I had to leave behind something that maybe was, comfortable to a certain level or for a certain amount of time, I made this choice. Could be in, creating relationship, although I think it's more about a relationship with the self and in creating some kind of a, like I said, some kind of a, of your own reality, new passion, purpose, life path, something in that regard and in that lane. But it's very healing. It's very energizing. I mean, my gosh, so interesting that it would be with this card, though, right? That this is what this part wants to say, even though it looks so bleak almost, and yet not. It almost reminds me of, like, what was it? Close Encounters of the Third Kind. We're just coming upon a new land, you know, like, wow, this is possible. This is here. This has been here. Wow. Okay. Okay. So what does this part see as its role or purpose? What does this part see as its role or purpose? What does this part see as its role or purpose? Okay. All right, so we got perfection, workaholic, and impartiality. For me, what I'm seeing here is this part's role is to release this sense that the world is very black and white, that in order to be, you know, a success or fit into a certain belief system of what is right, what is perfect, that this part says no, there's more. And I'm not going to judge where I've been. I'm not going to, you know, I'm just, no, there's more. There's a way to be balanced, to experience the world and life in a different way. And, you know, passion. Follow my bliss as a creator. That I do have purpose. My unique purpose, my unique gifts, and my unique vision for what could be needs to be explored. I know that. Okay, any fears? Any fears for this part? Any fear? I don't think so. It's an explorer, right? You know, it came out with this guy, which is interesting. All right. The bully boss. I see him kind of as a bully boss, right? The, yeah, I've already done a reading on him, so you can look at that if you want to. And this is like the antithesis of that. Like, no. I don't believe that. Mysticism. Mysticism. Okay. So, are there any fears? It could be that, you know, again, it's, if we're looking back down in here, that, you know, it could be scary to challenge, to take a leap of faith, to do something different outside the, you know, structures of, you know, faith, belief, the unseen and the unknown. But it seems to me that that's, well, let's see. Okay, so you could let go of that fear. How would you feel? I mean, I think it's clear how it would feel. It would feel free and confident and happy and joyful and whole, and at peace and at one with the universe, right? Free, whole, miracle, blessings, blessed, confident, right? It's like, what? Absolutely. I mean, look at all the yellow on this. I don't know if you can see there. All the yellow there. But absolutely. Solar plexus. Carolyn Mice from Anatomy of the Spirit, which is like one of my Bibles. I've got my little I don't want to say cheat sheet, but this thing I use for one of my classes. She calls this the seat of personal power and the sort of sacred truth of the solar plexus, and there's tons of yellow here, of the solar plexus, is honor oneself. And this might feel like a miracle to have this much freedom, right? And joy and bliss to this part that looks like it decided it needed to explore and do more for itself. Okay, let's see. Let's get one more message. Oops, sorry, here. I'll put this up here. And a final message from Wisdom of the Oracle from Colette Baron Reed. Now, see how, so fascinating. Now, at another time, you know, I can see how getting a card like this with other cards from Tarot, I mean, the message might be very different. But this is what the energies are today. And so our parts, you know, they are about our relationship to the parts. And these cards, these what's it called again? Interactive cards, elicit a conversation with your personal relationship and with parts. Okay, 40, co-create. Like, how beautiful and appropriate is that? Co-create. All right. Where's my book? 40. Oh, let's see here. 40. Okay. Creativity, art, inspiration, fruition, and manifestation. The Oracle's message. You may not consider yourself a creative person, but in fact you are creating your reality every moment of every day via your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, intentions, and actions. Yet you must consider that you do so in partnership with spirit, consciousness, God, or whatever name you call your higher power. Yes. You are a spark of this intelligence that works through you, nudging you with inspired thought and intuitive guidance. You are a paintbrush that co-creates a beautiful, unique expression of your own individuality blended with universal spirit. You are a product of divine inspiration, right? And now you're aligned with it to create miracles. Oh my God. And now you are aligned with it to create miracles. I cannot even. Wow. Pretty cool. When you view your life as art and know you co-create it, only beauty and grace result. Prepare to be amazed. All right. I hope that gives you something to think about or reflect on. And take just a second, if you would, if you enjoyed this, to hit like and subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what came up for you, and let's, kind of start a little dialogue. Thank you so much and have a good day. Bye-bye.